Okay. So let me just give introduction as also Ian mentioned. No, we run an agency here in Philippines. We were called Perfect Solutions. So I don't know if my co-founder joined me today as well. So her name is Adele. So we're co-founders of Perfect Solutions. We focus on finance, bookkeeping, virtual assistants, tax accounting for Australia, real estate management, admin support, digital marketing, and as well as ERP solutions. So we have currently 100 plus clients globally, mostly in United States and Australia. We also have few clients in Canada and Asia. So I, as I guess we share the same vision with Yan. Now we wanted to give more jobs to Filipinos because this flexible job is really, I guess this is what we need here sa Philippines. As Filipinos struggling with how government works now, with a lot of inflation impact to us, working from home is really a blessing for us. So we wanted really to replicate that. You know, you being at home earning dollars, you being at home being with your kid while earning. So yun yung gusto namin ma-replicate around our country, which I think kailangan yan. So we wanted to do more. Kaya I like what Jan said earlier na collaboration is the key among us. Yeah. Kasi it always goes back to the same community. So, okay. What do we want to achieve today? So ERP, so there's maraming ERP, no? But today we'll learn about what are the factors for an ERP implementation to be successful. Um, any technology, computers, phones, and ERP is also a technology. It's a software technology. It's only as good as it is if it's being used properly. Yeah. So kung ma-implement mo siya, or nandyan yung technology, if you're not using it properly, then it's not really good. So it has to be properly used and implemented. Today, I'll also be sharing some common mistakes and how do we put a process first thinking? Kasi it's always not the ERP as the solution. It's always process first as the solution. So maraming cases na na-implement mo ng ERP, nandiyan na, na-automate mo na, pero yung process mo broken. It's still not working. It's the same report that you're getting. So it's important that before you implement an ERP, it's always process, people, and system. All three together. ERP is not only a system, it's not only a technology, it's a combination of how you will implement the system towards the right process within the right organization or within the right people. So importante na ganun yung mix. Hindi lang siya pag na-implement mo, okay na. So you have to consider a lot of factors. Yun yung discuss natin today. And then as well as we'll highlight the importance of project and change management. So sabi nga ni Phil Simon, organizations with broken system typically suffer from broken business process and vice versa as well. So ano nga ba yung nagpapa-fail sa implementation ng ERP? Let's make a poll. Can you guys join in Slido? You know Slido, right? Slido.com. So I'll type it here. So go to Slido and put this. Let's make a poll. Wala. Okay, ayan. So what makes an ERP implementation fail? You can also scan through your phone and then type in ano yung tingin nyo ba na nagpapa-fail ng implementation. Is it wrong software? Wrong ERP? Is it poor process? Is it lack of user adaptation or weak project management? So type in your answer on Slido. Let's see what's a common conception. Are you able to join? Ayan, okay, may nagta-type in na lack of user adoption, weak project management. Okay, there's some who answered wrong software. Okay, lack of user adoption. Mhm. Okay, poor process. Okay. So, I think based on the poll, it's mostly the lack of user adoption. So, tama naman, no? Well, if nandiyan yung system, if hindi ginagamit, then what's the use, right? Um, I think most of you is in consensus na lack of user adoption or meaning readiness of who will use the system. The right answer is any of the above. So tama din yun. And then tama din yung wrong software. So it depends on how well you put in all these factors together. As I said kanina, it's always a lot of factors to consider when implementing an ERP. Kaya an ERP implementation, it cannot be a one-man team. It's always a team because it needs to consider a lot of factors. You need to have a project manager, you need to have a change manager, you have to have SMEs, you need to have business owners, you need to have steering committee. So, kaya marami siyang tao because there's a lot of factors that you need to consider. Yeah. So, let's start with wrong software. So ito yung mga common mistakes. Now, how do we prevent from each of these happening from your ERP implementation? How can you make sure that you have the correct software, you have the correct ERP? So these are some of the common ERP now. Microsoft Dynamics, if you're familiar, it can be yung old version, the Vision, Business Central, and then there's also Finance and Operations, the newest one. There's also Workday Financials, if you're familiar. QuickBooks, alam natin yan, QuickBooks. Zero for Australia, diba? And there's also Mayo pa nga eh. SAP, NetSuite, Oracle NetSuite, Odoo, this is one of the newest ERP now, and others. So to your question, ERP pala si QuickBooks. Yes. Okay. ERP pala si Zero. Yes. So ERP is your solution or finance solution towards consolidating your process, which are mainly finance focused. But it doesn't stop from being from finance. It's also supply chain as well. So which includes sales order, purchase order. So let's go into Slido and tingnan natin what's the best ERP. Tingnan natin ano yung feel nung team, ano yung best ERP. Let me just go to the next one. Same question. Okay. Let's go to the next. What's the best ERP? Okay. Select your answer. Naka-open pala yan. So just type in kasi baka you have other ERPs that's not here. So what do you think is the best ERP? QuickBooks and Dynamics, SAP. So maraming SAP dalawang SAP na. QuickBooks, Zero, SAP. Okay, madaming SAP. I think parang SAP yata yung pinakamatagal na common Parang 1 or 2 decades ago nandiyan na yung SAP Zero, common for Australia, QuickBooks. So ang dami, no? But the question is, alin nga ba dito is the best ERP? If I will answer that, there's no universally best ERP. So your ERP, the selection of your ERP will be depending on what is the business fit, what's the implementation. So business fit is, depende sa industry mo, merong tamang ERP na pipiliin, yung parang pinaka-fit. Kasi some ERPs are made specific for specific organization. Okay? And it also depends on the quality of implementation. So again, if mali yung implementation, tama yung software, then hindi mo rin siya magagamit properly. And then user adoption, as well as I said, governance and process design. So the process first thinking. Now, ito lang yung some of my suggested that might help you see kung ano yung best ERP. If you are if you are on a manufacturing business, the best so far for me, this is for me, no? I'm not quoting anyone. For me, SAP pa rin yung the best because SAP has a lot of also connected systems that enables you to create a very robust supply chain management process and inventory based. So kaya si SAP heavy siya sa manufacturing. So if you're in manufacturing, better si SAP. But if you cannot afford, meron din naman si NetSuite. Again, meron din naman si QuickBooks, meron din naman si Dynamics. But again, certain ERP kasi is made for certain industries. That's why if you select the one that's best for your industry, then it gives you a lot of easiness in terms of implementation. You don't have to do a lot of the setups kasi naka-pre-set up na siya. If you're on a service business, I would say it's Workday is the best because Workday is mostly commonly used by BPOs and universities. So pag services ka, maganda yung Workday. And kunyari kung if you are on a manpower business, maganda rin si Workday kasi Workday has a Workday HCM, which is for your HR. So if your HCM and ERP is connected, then it gives you additional bonus. And then if you're on a retail business, retail, reselling, NetSuite is also good. If you're and then it's not only on the industry. If let's say your business is mostly commonly using Microsoft products, let's say you're on Teams, you're you're on Outlook, you're using Excel, then might as well use Microsoft Dynamics because you be or using systems within the same provider or Microsoft or license or software owner, then it gives you additional parang integration ready process. So, kasi Microsoft Dynamics, naka-integrate siya sa Excel mo. It can easily produce your Excels or Excel, pabalik Excel to the system also. Other system naman meron din. Kaya lang syempre, if we're talking about Microsoft to Microsoft product, there's a benefit, right? Okay? Just feel free to ask questions on the chat box. Probably I'll put in some answers later. And then ERP, when we talk about ERP, most common mistake is when you say we're implementing ERP, the business takes it as we're changing everything. So no. ERP is for finance-centric process, but it touches the process for your ordering, for example. So if you're changing ERP, might as well look at, do I change the front-end system as well? Front-end system means these are your systems or applications that you use for your clients. So, for example, if you are on a restaurant business, your front end system is your POS. So, kung saan nilalagay yung sale. Now, is it connected to your ERP? If yes, then it's good. Now, the next question is, do you need to connect it on the ERP? So that's another question. So changing ERP or implementing ERP doesn't mean automatically changing everything, but it's important to consider before changing ERP, look at the connected system, especially front-end system, if it needs to be replaced. Kasi mamaya pinalitan mo yung ERP mo, pero hindi mo pinalitan yung POS mo and outdated na yung POS mo, then magkakaroon ka ng problema in terms of your reporting ng revenue. Yeah, so important that when you implement ERP, look at the connected system. Okay? Then why do you need to change your ERP? So it depends. Now, if your business is scaling up, feeling like your old system is not catching up anymore with your transaction. So let's say that you're using QuickBooks, but your business have grown to millions and millions of dollars of revenue or transaction. Then hindi na kinakaya ng cloud server mo, you might as well change your ERP, right? And then let's say if you're adding a new industry from your business, then might as well add or change ERP. Another is if your system is outdated na. So marami ng ganyan. So let's say for Microsoft, if you're currently on the Vision, it's getting outdated na. So you need to change to at least Business Central or Microsoft Finance and Operation. What does it mean if it's obsolete, or what does it mean if outdated na yung system? So pag outdated na yung system mo, if there are patch updates or if there are errors, wala nang support si provider mo sa'yo. So for example, outdated na yung system mo, nagkaroon ka ng error sa posting of journal entries, since outdated na siya, hindi na siya sinusupport ng provider mo. If it's Microsoft, if it's SAP, hindi ka na niya isusupport, no support anymore. Kaya important na you look at your system if it's updated, and if it's outdated already, then you need to change or plan to change your ERP. Yeah. And more importantly, changing ERP should solve business problem. Okay. If you have been encountering slowness and month-end closing, you're closing 1 or 2 months after bago ka makapag-close. Your inventory is messed up, right? You have like a negative inventory, hindi nagta-tie up with the account, always an external audit problem. You have a very manual process and your reporting takes time. Everything is in Excel or in paper. Then that needs to be solved. And ERP or change of ERP is one of the solution on how to solve this problem. Okay. Okay, let me stop there. If there are questions on why changing the ERP, what's the best ERP, etc. Before I go to the topic of process-centric thinking. So when you're changing an ERP, it's important that you find or correct the process rather than implementing just an ERP. So, have any questions so far? Am I too fast, too slow? Let me know. Okay, so far no comments again. I'll proceed. Okay, so this is one of the common or very famous process orientation with a very famous company, Shell. So if you're a Shell person, you know ESA. Okay, so it's always process solution rather than system solution. So always remember that when implementing an ERP, don't settle with system solution. It start with process solution. Okay. And to follow that, there's a guide from Shell that they follow. I also follow, which is called ESA. So what is ESA? No, but before we go there, yung success of ERP, as you can see here, if you have a bad process and good ERP, bad results pa rin, diba? But if you have a good process and even average ERP, better results. But if you have good process and bad ERP, pangit pa rin, diba? So at least settle with the good ERP or average ERP. But again, the important is your process should be good. Cannot be broken. If your process is broken, then at the end of the day, no matter how automated your system, diba? naka um, naka-automatic na read na yung system mo or automatic reporting na in just a click, all your reports are running. Ang ganda nga ng system mo. But yung process of getting the data in there is bungi-bungi, then yung report mo is bungi-bungi din. Diba? So important, you need to put the right process first. Okay? So how do you do that? So we follow ESA. ESA, you start with, so sunod-sunod siya dapat. When you're trying to solve a problem, you always start with the eliminate. So eliminate muna unnecessary steps. Okay? Eliminate redundant reviews. Kasi mamaya, i-automate mo, pero at the end, parang hindi naman pala kailangan. Right? So start thinking about, kailangan ba siya in the first place? What's the use of it? And required ba siya by the government? Required ba siya for statutory? Does it add value to the organization? So think about that first. If out of the 10 process, even reports, diba, you have like 100 reports. And then, kailangan mo pa talaga yung 100 na yun. So, start with eliminating muna. Out of 100, baka mamaya yung 90 hindi na kailangan. Naging parang, ano na lang siya, repetitive, and then from old pa, tinutuloy na lang. Wala na palang gumagamit. So, clean it up first. Look for something that you can eliminate. And that will ease your process. Kasi again, if you carry something that can be eliminated, then it will complicate your process or your problem solving. And you also simplify the process. So if you have multiple provers, multiple activities, simplify it. So for example, if your closing activity involves like 55 steps, but that 55 steps, when you re-engineer the process, resulted to 10 steps only, but it provides you the same output, then you're simplifying it. So simplify the process first, no? And once you simplified it, standardize. Look for the global business practice. Look for the best practice. So let's say if you're on a similar industry and then you're doing this closing activity, but the best practice is, let's say, you change the basis of your inventory valuation, for example, then you standardized it rather than creating specific or special process that results to special setup or special testing or special solution. So parang as much as possible, avoid special setup. Unless, okay, of course, unless if it's statutory, if you're in Hong Kong or if you're implementing an ERP in the US, then of course they have special localization or local requirements. But other than that, dapat if it follows the same accounting principle, right, then standardize your approach. And then lastly, automate. So as you can see, automate is always the last step. So you don't always go back, you don't always go and say, you have a problem, automate natin yan. No. So, hindi. Panghuli mo siya. Always start with ESS first before you automate. Kasi again, if you automate something that is not needed, then again, sayang yung cost, sayang yung effort, and later on, pag tinanggal din yun, di ba, you build a lot of things already. Then, again, regret cost ang tawag to. So that's how you use ESA when trying to solve a problem or trying to implement an ERP, solving a business problem. Okay? So let me know if you have questions. I see a question here from Christita. What's the best ERP for a water system distribution that is government owned? Okay, I guess I would say first is ask what is your government system. What would be, because if they're using a system that you can also use, then that's the best way. So pareho, di ba? If again, you have to you put it within the same industry. Now, if hindi, syempre, kasi if you're following the same, you're using the same ERP, then you can easily do an invoice, you can easily do payments within the same system, right? But of course, if you cannot use their system, then water distribution can be actually pwedeng NetSuite. NetSuite is also good for that because that's a I think I have one client who's also using NetSuite for distribution of services. So pwede rin siya doon. But again, you have to look at other factors as well. That's just my recommendation. Okay. Hope that answered your question, Christita. Just send in more questions if you have questions, guys. Now, simple versus complex solution. Okay, as you can see here, I have here a demonstration on how you can solve a problem. So the problem is you need to reach the top. On the simple solution, you just put in same size blocks and then you reach the top. Simple. So you just have like 4 or 5 same sizes and then you reach the top. But if you're complicating it, you're so creative, you put in a lot of blocks, na-reach mo. Same output, right? Same output, achieve nyo yung top. But the problem is, the other one is complex. How complex it is, right? So if you remove one block, then it will impact the other blocks, right? Sa simple solution, if you remove one block, you just replace it with another block. Sa complex solution, if you remove one block, you worry about the impact to the block 1, block 2, block 3, right? And then worst case is the tower will fall down. So it's important that when you design a process, always look for straightforward process, straightforward design, rather than adding so much complication. Later on, we'll have an exercise on how do you do that though. Just a simple exercise now. So I would say this, in most ERP, beware of customizations. Um, you will always hear customizations from your vendor, and they will always most of the time give you customization solution. Right? Customization is not always the right answer. Right? Um, Customization changes the foundation of your system, so it accommodate what you want. So again, but customization can look pretty sophisticated, ang ganda, automated, di ba? But it's always the complicated solution. What's the impact of the customization in your system? Una-una, higher cost yan because customizing for number of man days. So may additional cost yan. So let's say you already spend on 1 million peso or 1 million, let's say 1 million peso, di ba? But if they say, okay, may cost, for that to be fixed, kailangan ng customization. Then you'll have to pay another 20,000. Okay, 20,000 lang ngayon, di ba? But once you started doing a customization, it will be one after another. And then hindi mo na mamamalayan, you've built like hundreds of 20,000 and then nadoble na yung ERP cost mo. Kasi so this is the impact of customization. Once you customize a certain process, it touches a lot of process. So pag kinostomize mo yung isang block, di ba? Ina-custom mo yung isang block for it to fit. Then it impacts also the other blocks. Then the other block, you'll have to customize it again. Then for it to reach the top, you have to customize it again. Patong-patong siya. So beware of customization. But I'm not saying entirely zero. There will come a point that you have to customize, which is, for example, if it's local requirement, then you'll have to customize. If it's just adding or simple customization, okay. If it's just simple adding a field or customization, pwede. You can think about it. But if it changes the flow, the foundation, the table, then challenge it. So always challenge all customization requests. And sometimes customization is a solution just to build your old habits. Go back to the ESA. Eliminate first. Think about, do you need it? Do you need it in the first place ba? Kasi kung hindi mo na kailangan, then no customization, right? So think about that first. If it's an old habit or if it's an old process na nakagawian na lang, then might as well rethink of how to do it and think of a simpler solution rather than customization. And when you customize, there's upgrade challenges. Every time this is a key technical factor that you have to consider. If you have customization, every time that ERP upgrades, so 'di ba lahat naman ng system nag-upgrade. Even iOS nga 'di ba, nag-upgrade your Android Android application nag-upgrade. Every time the system upgrades, ina-update niya yung base setup. Now, kung may kinostomize ka doon, tatamaan yun. You have to also update that customization. So, mangyari niyan, mag-reach out ka ulit kay vendor, hey, yung kinostomize mo, tinamaan ng upgrade, can you fix it? And then next year, nag-upgrade na naman. Ganun din. So, it's also a technical debt. So, meaning every time you have to update or you have to change something, you have to go back to your vendor, you pay your vendor, and your cost can be accumulating. So, creating a customization is actually a debt. You're creating a debt to your vendor. Kaya very, very careful on creating customization. So again, if it's customization on, let's say, creating your tax forms, pwede. I think pwede, di ba? It eases your process, but it doesn't touch a lot of things, probably. You have to assess really what to be customized. It's not customization is not always the answer when you're building an ERP or solution. Okay, beware of that kasi your vendor will always recommend customization most of the time nga. Siyempre kasi may additional earnings sila. So this is an example of if you're building a standard ERP, you have your modules, interface, process, you have one source of database, you have workflow set up. But if you're building a highly customized ERP, so let's say you put a workflow inside one module, but different workflow on another module, and different workflow on another module. Then you're setting up multiple databases. So meaning, iba-iba yung database source. So yung GL mo nasa isang database, yung inventory mo nasa ibang database, yung sales mo nasa ibang database. Now, when you build a report, ang dami mong sources, right? So, ayan, makikita niyo sobrang ano na siya, complicated, magulo na siya. Again, ang impact niyan is once you remove one line or one box, it messes up the whole diagram, right? So if you can set up like one database across your system, then that's the best solution. And this is highly or it's very prone for high maintenance because let's say for example if you maintain, let's say a customization, no, an example, yung client category mo for you need a category for your client for reporting, and then you customize it in a way na you maintain a category outside of ERP so that every time you have a new client, naglo-look up lang siya sa category. That's customization because you added another source and you put that logic in your ERP. Now that's highly maintenance required because if you have new clients, you have to update your table every time. And what if you add multiple clients in a month or in a week? Then you have to update it every time. But if you maintain that category as an attribute to your client in your ERP, then you don't have to customize. That's a simple solution. Yeah. You have question, Zelda? Okay, sige. Background music tayo. Next. Okay, sige. Let's start doing an exercise now. Okay. Let me see. And there's no wrong answer. I mean this is a problem that I'm trying to put here. Try to solve it at your own. Type it here. No wrong answers. Again, and if you don't try to solve a problem, um, that's the wrong way. If you don't try to solve the problem, but if you're trying to solve a problem and later on come up with a trial and error, then that's you're on the right track. So no wrong answer. Okay, type in your suggested solution. Come up with a simple solutioning in this problem. No, pricing problem siya. Kasi you maintain a price that's effective from first day to the next first day. Kasi yun yung effectivity ng contract mo sa client eh. So yung current process mo is meron kang old price. Example here, May 1 to June 1, meron kang price nakaset up. Let's say 100 pesos. Then nag-update yung price mo the following month, your price is 120 pesos na. But that data is only available on the first day of each month. So June 1 na. June 1, in-update mo siya, naglagay ka ng bagong end date, start and end date of June 1, then end date mo is June 30, and then 120 pesos na. The problem, yung order mo nung June 1, nagko-conflict siya. What is the source? The old one or the new one? Because there's two June 1 eh. The 100 and 120. If you get the problem now. Yung problem is the system nag-error siya because it's conflicting what to use. The old price, kasi end date mo hanggang June 1 eh. And then yung new price mo, which is June 1 ang start date naman. So, yung sa start date, yung sa end date. How would you solve it? Like, just ideas. Again, depende sa ERP, iba-iba yung solution, diba? But what would be the, like, kind of like, do you think is a simple solution here? I'll give you guys like 3 to 5 minutes just to put in some suggestion or answer before I reveal the at least my recommended solution. No, I'm not saying that's the right solution always. And again, you can come up with a better solution. Take it away. Okay, I'm seeing really interested answers, interesting answers. Any more takers? Follow the old price. Okay. Okay. Yeah. All right. I see. Again, as I said, all your answers are correct depending on your ERP. Diba? Each ERP will have their own capability. Iba-iba yung trigger, iba-iba yung logic, iba-iba yung table. So each of your answers can be correct depending on the ERP. No? And I see some answers, i-correct na lang yung May 31, June 1 end date to May 31. Yeah, can be a simple solution. But that will require you to talk to your client again, hey, May 31 na lang yung price. Pwede naman, di ba? Or change the process, di ba? But that will require you to commercially um, commercially drive the change. But that's also an answer. You can do that. But there's no stopping you to do that. That's also a solution, di ba? Yung iba says adding a code, which is like if it's a new price, there's a code kung anong kung effective siya or hindi. I like this. Apply lock dates to avoid using old price. I like that. So that's also it's kind of like a technical answer actually. You lock the table. Pwede rin. No? There's no wrong answer. There's no wrong answer. Thanks everyone for answering this. If you want to have a complex answer, so this is my take. Again, this is probably based on my experience. If you want to to have a complex solution, you customize. Again, complex customizing. You add the a logic for pricing calculation or adding a field na yung new upload mo will have additional field na nakalagay effective. Na if it's effective, yung new upload mo, yun yung kukunin ng system. But you will have to change the logic of the system na ang babasahin niya is the effective. You may tag ng effective from the new customized field. You can do that as a customized. But I see one answer here actually kanina na parang same kami. One simple solution is just put a blank. Diba? So May 1 onwards, effective yung date mo. Kung kailan ka mag-upload, kung nag-upload ka ng June 1, June 1 effectivity mo, and then blank din yung end date, then it gets you the right pricing. I see one na pareho kami ng solution here. But then again, it will work for the ERP I know, and your answers will also work depending on the ERP that we're using. But just to show you how to simplify some solutions. So sometimes eliminating or changing the data. So instead of like having an end date, the simple solution here is put a blank, and then parang it's going to be prospective application of your price. And then once you have a new price updated, then June 1 onwards, the June 1 onwards na yung babasahin. No? That actually works for Microsoft Dynamics. So, but again, depende sa ERP. If you're using QuickBooks, SAP, my answer might not be correct. Diba? Depending nga dun sa logic. But I would like to show you is like always come up with the simplest solution rather than putting different logic customization because that will be your technical debt later on. Thanks everyone for those who participated. So the next one is no. Now what are the factors to consider when implementing an ERP, but it's important that you find the right ERP partner. Ayan na. Kasi you might have the correct ERP, yes, fit na siya. And then you have the process solution in mind. Alam mo na yung how to solve it. But if you don't find the right ERP partner, then it will also fail. So look beyond software demos. Remember this. Demos will always be pretty. Okay? Walang nagde-demo ng ito hindi to mag-work. Ay hindi namin kaya yan. Walang magde-demo ng ganon. Okay? So demo will always say you that it's possible. And look beyond the demos and the sweet talks. And then from there, evaluate, get historical references, evaluate their experience. Ano na ba na-implement nila? And this is important, look for proof of concept. So look for example and demo mismo nung system na na-set up na nila. And talk to that client. How did it went? And you can assess their methodology as well. Ano ba yung approach nila? Is their approach UAT to, ito importante din to. yung approach nila, you have to look at the technical design. If it's UAT to prod, you know UAT, parang sandbox, yung other term sandbox. Sandbox to prod or prod to sandbox. Do not select a vendor that will say it's prod to UAT. It will never be good to start doing configuration sa production diretso sa UAT or sa sandbox. Pataas dapat lagi yun. Normally nga may development environment, sandbox environment, and then production environment. So paakyat, hindi pwedeng pababa. No? Assess their methodology, that ask them who will do the project management. So most of the vendors, ito din, tandaan nyo to, most of the, well, some, di naman lahat. No? Some of the vendors, and siguro based on my experience na rin, ipapasa sa iyo yung project management sa business. So ask them how capable they are to do the project management. Ask them if they have a project manager available. Kasi if wala, and din yung gagawa, imagine you're doing BAU, nagko-closing ka, ikaw pa magpa-project management ng project, then no. Ipapasa lang din sa yung work. So important to look for that capability from your vendor and look for post-go live support. Ano ba yung post-go live support nila? May hypercare ba? May warranty ba? And mayroon ba silang ma-deploy na support immediately? Right? So those are the questions that you have to ask when finding the right partner. Evaluate them carefully. Don't just be amazed with demos. I see someone raising her hand kanina. Sorry, I didn't get it. Who is that again? You have a question? Okay. I'll answer na lang yung question ni Maureen. What is specific ERP po yung resolution nyo, sir, sa problem? Just so we have okay, nasagot ka na pala kanina yan. Microsoft Dynamics yun. Yung ganong, actually, it works with all Microsoft, Navision, Business Central, and Finance and Operation. Yeah. SAP, they have a table lock. Yung kaninang sagot na table locking, sa SAP, it's working. So, yung sumagot siguro ng lock table, nung ilalock yung dates kanina, probably SAP experience yun. So, SAP yun. Okay. Ito lang, just siguro type it here. Which partner would you choose here? The cheapest implementation but local experience. Pinakamura naman sila eh. Kaya lang local pa lang yung na gagawa nila ng ERP. The partner B is strong industry expertise but more expensive. Mas mahal siya, pero marami na siyang na-implementan across the globe. And partner C, yung dating nag-implement sa'yo. Who would you choose normally, A, B, or C? You can type it here on the chat box. C? Okay. C? Okay. Dami C. Okay. Ang daming C. So, kung may budget B, yeah, correct. So, for me, I will always go B or C. So, mukhang yun din naman yung poll B or C. Do not, just do not always look at the price. Normally, kung sino yung pinakamura, siya yung walang client or sila yung parang hindi capable. Kaya parang gusto ka nilang makuha. So, don't always settle with that. Always settle with mid, and if you have budget, go for the most expensive. Your C, yung C is, you can also do this with your C if you have good experience with your C, your previous implementer. So kung magaling sila dati, they go with them. Kasi there's a benefit of going with your previous ERP implementer because they know and easier to transition. But caution with C is if you don't have a good experience with them, so obviously go with B. Okay? Do not always look at the price. Kaya normally pag meron kaming parang yung tabulation, 'di ba? Procurement tabulation of the awarding. Yung commercial is always 20% lang. It always technical experience, technical evaluation with 80%. So mas mababa yung weight ng price na tinitingnan kasi mas importante yung technical niya or yung experience niya. Kasi mas nakamura ka nga probably on A, but since palpak siya, umulit ka ulit or so many customization, etc. Ganun din, parang mas napamahal ka lang din ng A, di ba? So, wag titipirin if the budget can yung ERP part kasi you have to find the right partner. Yeah, si Christita is sharing now they had our experience that failed because the ERP they implemented did not work despite yeah, exactly. So may mga ganyan din case na sobrang mahal but it did not work. But you have to go back, Christita. Maybe it's a process, the process doesn't fit. Kasi baka mamaya yung industry towards that ERP is not fit in the first place, number one. Second is there's also another factor which I'll cover later, no? So there are a lot of factors. So hindi lang siya, if you see, no, ang dami na natin pinag-usapan na factors, hindi lang siya isang system implementation, yun na yun. Marami kang kailangan i-consider na factor how to make it successful. Kasi like yan, you found someone na expensive. Siguro magaling na yung ERP implementer na nakuha mo. Magaling and then mahal. Mukhang okay. Now, the next question, okay ba yung process design? Sige, sabihin na natin okay yung process design. Bakit pa rin siya nag-fail? Then you would have to go and assess the project management and change management. So baka hindi na project management na mabuti. So project management boils down to the organizational readiness. Important, project management is a fundamental part of ERP or any projects actually. Sabi ng iba, si project manager is parang a good to have lang. Sabi ng iba, project management is if you have a budget, then do it. That's the most common mistake of a project. Always invest in project manager management. Kasi without the project management, you will not have to, you cannot drive the project in the right direction. And it's not only administrative, it's really driving the project towards it. And you have to have a project management on your side as well. Hindi pwedeng si vendor lang lahat. Kasi pag si vendor lang yung may project management, kailangan dalawa yan. Meron siya, meron kayo. Pero pag sila lang yan, they will always drive it to where it is more profitable to them. We know that that's how business work eh. Diba? Kaya you have to make sure na maging equitable yung solutioning. Yeah. Make sure that there's executive sponsorship. May buy-in ka sa lahat ng department head. Kasi mamaya nag-implement ka, approve ng CFO mo, pero ayaw pala ng operations at the end, hindi rin nila ginamit. So babalik tayo din sa problema of lack of user adoption. So important na when you put forward, hey, kailangan natin ng new ERP, ito yung right partner, ask for the buy-in of all the executives as much as possible. Kasi kung di nila din pala gusto in the first place, mahirapan kang i-convince sila towards accepting the new process. Baka bumalik sila dun sa dati. Also important that you have a clear scope of control. So again, as I said, ERP, you have to consider connected applications. Kasi baka mamaya i-announce mo na, hey, we're changing ERP. Akala na lahat binago mo na yung POS. Akala na lahat babaguhin mo na yung ordering system. Akala na lahat babaguhin mo na yung inventory system. So you have to be careful on putting forward ano yung scope. ERP ba? Kasama ba yung front-end system? Kasama ba yung other system, inventory system? Kasama ba yung tax books, etc. And you need to have a weekly governance as well. Yeah, that's important. So there's just a question here from Rosiel. There are specific ERP fit for an industry. For example, SAP is fit for manufacturing, Hyperion, Finance Manager is fit for financial management. Yeah, correct. So best, tama yun. So that's why I always look for the best fit ERP. Okay. Kasi mamaya you're using a Workday for manufacturing. No, it won't work. Workday kasi is for services. So kung maglalagay ka ng Workday to a manufacturing, walang inventory module si Workday. So it will end up you will do a customization, etc. So important na you have to find the right fit based on your business. And change management. So as pointed out kanina ngayon, kung okay yung partner mo, magaling, and mahal sila, I mean parang magaling based on the price, and then as well as okay naman yung ERP na pili mo, fit naman, but hindi pa rin nag-work. So it's on the readiness of the organization. Always make sure na when you're implementing, you have a dedicated or at least outsource team. You cannot require the same team who's doing the closing to also implement this. Diba? Otherwise, mapapabayaan nila yung testing. Right? Kung nagko-closing ako, naggagawa ako ng invoices daily, tapos isisingit ko pa to, they will always have to choose the priority. Siyempre, yung priority nila yung day-to-day. So, mapapabayaan nila yung change, yung ERP, ending up, konti lang yung matetest nila. They will not be able to test all the scenario. And it's important to have the full set of testing. We have what we call positive and negative testing. When you do a positive test, always do at least 3 or 5 times of negative test. So, ano ibig sabihin nun? You do a positive test, for example, creating a sales invoice. That's a positive test. But if you have one positive test, create 5 related negative tests. So, for example, um, canceling a sales invoice, one negative test. Another negative test is creating a sales invoice that is more than the sales order, or and then so on and so forth. So, you create multiple scenarios to make sure na na-cover mo yung testing. But then again, make sure that you have a dedicated team who does the testing, who does the ERP. Avoid double hunting, and there should be proper training. You have your user manual and assign super users. Yan. When I say super user, doesn't mean that you're a system super user that you have access for all. No. When I say super users or champion, assign someone who will be the subject matter expert for ERP. Always have that person na, normally si controller yan eh. Parang siya dapat yung pinakamagaling niya, or siguro yung accounting manager. So assign someone or on top of na dapat magiging expert siya na pag ang goal mo is pag alis ni ERP vendor, someone knows and can take over. Kasi if you don't have that SME, you will always be dependent on the vendor, ending up bayad ka ng bayad just to change anything. So important to build that team internally. So that's part of the change management. And let me just share you some my experience now. So based on my experience na really lessons learned, make sure that there's business ownership. So if you're the project team, project management, make sure na whoever is the recipient of the ERP, which is normally finance, owns what they do. They test, they act, and they provide input. Hindi yung nagpa-participate lang sila sa call. Make sure that they own it. Make sure that they ask the right questions rather than just participating. Okay? Make sure that there's that turnover. And again, as I said, too many customization will result to too many headaches. Insufficient testing. Do not just test one scenario. Test multiple scenarios and assign testers. This is also another learning. If you have a weak data migration, your system is also bound to fail. Ano ba yung data migration? So that includes uploading of your customers, uploading your vendors, uploading your beginning balance if you're familiar. So imagine you uploaded a beginning balance na hindi na clean up, nilipat mo sa new ERP, and then it will end up the accounting team doing more and more reconciliation just to tie it up sa new system. So don't do that. Always do a proper reconciliation and cut over. So if you're ending December 31, the new system January 1, make sure that your December 31 ending balance is reconciled, tied up, including the retained earnings, roll forward, and approved by the management. So that when you transfer it sa beginning balance, it's signed off. Now, ano mga tips for uploading customers, vendors? Always do a cleanup. If you have 1,000 customers in your old system and then you uploaded 1,000 customers in the new system, then just learning na out of that 1,000, 100 lang pala yung active. The rest, inactive or duplicate. Diba? So, na-automate mo yung report, na-automate mo yung system, ang ganda, pero lumalabas dun sa report mo, ang daming duplicate na data. So, your ERP as good as only as it can be if you have a good data source. So, do or allot time for data cleanup. So, that's important. Otherwise, you're carrying your problem from your old system to your new system. And lastly, poor change management. So important to have the right change management. normally outsource people. Just to share with you, one of my clients were implementing ERP for some Shell stations in other countries. So they hired us as outsourced team who does the project management as well as testing. So and it's effective. We are able to successfully implement it in one of the country. So and by doing that, yung current team nila is focused on their day to day while learning the new system. But hindi sila na forced to do extra work overtime, right? So it's important to consider outsourcing it with experts as well. That gives you some smoother implementation with your ERP. All right. That actually kind of like wraps up the session. So just key takeaways from me, or I guess from the session. Focus on solving the business problem. Always prioritize fixing process before technology. Eliminate, or minimize customization. Invest on project and change management, and the success is always organizational, not technical. So there are lots of ERP project that fails not because of the software, but it's because the organization is not ready to use the new ERP or not trained well with the new ERP. So I'd like to thank you for listening, for participation. These are our contact for Perfect Solutions. But I would like to entertain some more questions, please, if you have questions or clarifications. We offer consultation if you want, free lang. This is the community. This is a free community. We give consultations if you'd like. Walang problema. If you have questions on ERP, we can also do that. We collab, and that's the same vision and value that being shared by Yan to this group. Any questions?
Guys, questions? Alright. Again, maybe you could type one if you're learning. Ako kasi to be honest, bagong fresh ideas din tong nakikita ko at narinig ko from Ron. Kasi 'di ba sa corporate, medyo old school yung mga nadadatnan nating mga software. And this ERP, if you will notice on LinkedIn, madaming naghahanap ng mga ERP expert, tsaka Oracle, tsaka NetSuite. Tama ba? Kasi yung iba sa inyo nasa QuickBooks and Xero, but to be honest, marami rin naghahanap ng mga ganyang expertise. And that's why nung narinig ko kay Ronto, lagi akong gusto ko, sabi ko talaga, inaya ko agad siya magpa-training tsaka webinar kasi 'di ba, kailangan natin magkaroon ng access sa iba't ibang people na merong ganong strength, tama ba? Kasi along the way may encounter kayo ta's hindi niyo alam kung kanino kayo lalapit. So through Ron, puwede niya tayong maturuan and then kayo din, maging well-rounded lang kayo, hindi lang puro QuickBooks. Kasi marami kayong makikita knowledgeable sa QuickBooks and Xero. Pero to tell you honestly, may naghahanap din ng ganyang expert. So yun yung edge niyo naman. That's why nung narinig ko nga kay Ronto and ako naman natutuwa kasi talagang siya yung nag-reach out. Sabi niya gusto niyang matuto from me. 'Di ba, Ron? So, gustong-gusto ko yung
Yeah.
mga gano'ng tao na napaka-humble. Imagine they're already, of course, they're already stable on their field, professional na sila, CPA, and even MIGS. Nakaka-humble makarinig ng, "Miss Yan, gusto ko matuto from you." So, pareho lang din naman, 'di ba? Sabi ko nga, leaning on each other, ano tayo, strength and weaknesses. Tama ba? So we could be a whole person paglabas natin. And again, we value the community that sharing expertise and knowledge, walang damot, walang naghihilahan pababa, puro pataas lahat. Tama ba? So ayan, binigay ko yung link ni Rod if you have question. And we have another free webinar next week. Si Rain Austria naman, isa na rin siyang BPO business owner na nagpo-post sa Australia. Kung may nakita kayong hiring, galing sa kanya yon, minsan may executive siya. So si Rod, again, kung meron kayong madadaan ng mga client na kailangan ng ERP, alam niyo na kung sino kayo pupunta, di ba? Ganun lang naman yon. So para hindi nasasayang yung referral natin kasi meron naman tayong taong willing tulungan tayo. Okay? So do you have any more questions? Maybe you could have pictures. And few more announcement. We have coaching session 9 p.m. And then we have another batch of coaching by 3rd week of June. And if you're already in the community, meron tayong free payroll software training. Sino na ba yung wala pa sa classroom? So I can post the link. Sino dito yung wala pa sa payroll? Si Ron pwede rin mag-join doon. And soon, busy lang yung
I'd love to
client
join.
ko. Bigay ko yung link ng payroll, US payroll training sa July 14, may schedule na to. Bigay ko lang yung link para maka-join kayo. We're already 782 sa loob. Andun na ba kayo guys lahat? At ito yung initiative ni Joto na magkaroon ng US payroll training din. Libre lang yan, okay? Ang may bayad lang po, to be honest, yung coaching session ko na 3,500 pero naka-promo siya ng 2,000 for the month of June. So, yung mga ibang humabol, thank you. And then sa wala pa, and si Mix naman, meron siyang 0 batch 4 sa June 19-20 tsaka bus. Ina-announce ko lang kasi marami sa inyo pagdating, ay hindi ko po alam, may training, kailan po yung next batch. So, ina-announce ko na. May question ba sa training? Coaching session sa June, 0 batch 4, June 19-20, bus training June 12. Okay, and then refresher US payroll. Picture tayo. And guys, may question ba kayo or clarification kay Ron while he's here? May natutunan
Yan,
ba?
yan ako lang.
Go, go.
I'd really like to thank everyone for joining and really thank you for allowing me here. Actually, as Yan is sharing, Yan is coaching me on how to be more present on LinkedIn. So I really appreciate na walang kadamot-damot sa katawan si Coach Yan. So really helpful. Thank you and I appreciate the community.
Yan, kasi si Ron din, ito post ko na lang yung recording kasi sinabi ko sa kanya